Welcome to TLC Pro. Hi besties. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about storylines in Sister Wives. The rocky and explosive relationship between Christine Brown and Meri Brown. And recently, Christine's daughter, Mykelti Padron, opened up about what it was really like growing up in that environment, sharing some shocking stories that back up what Christine wrote in her book. Now, Christine has mentioned fights with Meri before, but Mykelti remembers even more of them. She explained that while her mom might talk about a few incidents, the truth is there were many. One in particular stands out. Back when the family was living in the Leahy house, Meri came down hard on one of Mykelti's siblings so harshly that the child burst into tears and ran to Christine for comfort. Christine didn't waste a second. She marched upstairs to Meri's apartment and basically told her, "Don't you dare talk to my kids like that again." For Mykelti, that moment was a relief. Finally, someone was standing up for them. This tension wasn't new. According to Mykelti, Meri often targeted her more than her siblings, though not exclusively. She admitted Meri could be verbally harsh with several kids, but because she always felt different, she seemed to receive more of it. On her Patreon, Mykelti has even shared how in high school she was a bit of a rebel. She partied, drank, wore less modest clothes, and pushed against the strict rules of their faith, but she also made it clear she wasn't alone. Other older girls like Maddie wanted more freedom too. Christine's book gave one version of these fights, but Mykelti insists it wasn't just one major blow-up. There were many clashes, over and over, about parenting and discipline. And here's where things get complicated. Christine's parenting style was relaxed. She believed kids should be kids, whether that meant jumping on beds or playing in cupboards. Meri, on the other hand, wanted structure and control. She had strict rules, and she didn't tolerate chaos in her home. If you've watched the show, you've seen hints of this. There are clips where Peyton picks on younger kids and Christine brushes it off as siblings being siblings, while Meri immediately steps in to correct it. From Meri's perspective, harsh behavior, especially violence, was unacceptable. From Christine's perspective, Meri was overstepping. Two totally different approaches, clashing in the same house. Now add another layer: resentment. Meri was the first wife, struggling with infertility and watching Cody's love shift toward other women. Christine was raising a house full of kids in poverty, while Meri wanted order and rules. Put those two together and sparks were inevitable, but while the wives fought, the children paid the price. They were caught in the middle, living in poverty, stuck in chaos, and forced to grow up on camera while their parents fought for control. Mykelti has admitted she carries deep trauma from Meri's strictness and belittling. She even recalled money fights, incidents at the candy store, and countless other times when Meri left her feeling small. Eventually, she told her mom she wanted nothing to do with Meri, aside from acknowledging Leon as family. The heartbreaking part. Even after saying that, Meri was always still there. Because in polygamy, you can't just cut someone out. They lived with her in multiple homes over the years. Christine didn't want Meri around her kids, but she had no way out. They were too poor, too trapped in the system, too brainwashed into believing this was God's plan. And here's the real tragedy. In this situation, there are no winners. Christine wasn't a winner. Meri wasn't a winner. The kids certainly weren't winners. They were the ones left with scars. Today, many of those kids openly admit they need therapy. Mykelti has said it. Gwendolyn has talked about it. And it makes sense. They were raised in dysfunction, with cameras rolling, while their dad drifted further away. Even though the show pulled the family out of poverty, it also locked them into a cycle of reliving and monetizing their trauma. Christine has said none of her kids watch Sister Wives, but that doesn't erase the reality that it's all still out there, forever. Every fight, every breakdown, every painful moment archived for the world to comment on. And that has to hurt, no matter how strong they pretend to be. So yes, Christine and Meri clashed. Yes, their parenting styles were polar opposites. But at the core of it all, the real problem was polygamy itself. It pitted wives against each other, forced rival kids to grow up under one roof, and left children carrying the weight of wounds they never asked for. My hope: that every one of those kids gets the healing they deserve, that they find therapy, peace, and a way to move forward free from the chains of the past. So, what do you think about Christine and Meri's explosive fights? Were they simply different moms clashing, or something deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a deep dive like this. Thanks for watching, besties. Bye. Bye.